Hello and welcome to my channel. Welcome to another tarot reading. Today's topic is going to be about how does your crush feel about you, or how does your crush see you? Okay, so your current romantic interest. This could be someone you are maybe already in a relationship with, or this could be someone that maybe you just like, but you haven't made a move towards them, or they haven't made a move towards you, so that you can get a better impression on how they might be feeling towards you and whether the feeling is mutual. Okay, and you have 4 choices, 4 piles to choose from. This first part is going to be for people who want to choose with crystals, only crystals. So pile number 1 is this citrine cluster crystal. Pile number 2 is this ruby zoisite crystal. Pile number 3 is this amethyst crystal. Pile number 4 is this milky quartz crystal. So if you would like more time to think about which choice to make, you can pause the video, you can meditate a little bit on the crystals. As usual, I recommend that you take some deep breaths, ask yourself the question, how does my crush feel about me, or how does insert name think about me? Meditate upon the question, take a few deep breaths, and then open your eyes and choose the first crystal that stands out to you. So this is for those of you who want to choose with crystals, and for those of you who also would like to choose with oracle cards. I'm going to select the cards now, and I'm also going to add a timestamp for the selection with cards. Okay, so Spirit, how does pile number 1's crush think about them? The people who have chosen the yellow citrine crystal, how does pile number 1, how does pile number 1's crush see them? How does pile number 2, the people who have chosen the ruby zoisite's crush, see them or feel about them? For pile number 2, how does their crush feel about them? For pile number 3, how does their crush see them? How does their crush feel about them? The people who have chosen the amethyst crystal. Pile number 3, how does their crush see them? How does their crush feel about them? The people who have chosen the milky quartz crystal. Pile number 4, the people who have chosen the milky quartz crystal. How does their crush see them? How does their crush feel about them? Spirit, how does their crush see them or feel about them? Okay, I feel like reshuffling. Spirit, how does pile number 4's crush see them or feel about them? Okay, so pile number 1, you have this card with transformation. Pile number 2, you have this card with Lorelei. Pile number 4, you have this card with secrets. Pile number 3, you have the one with secrets. Pile number 4, you have this card with listen. Okay, so if you need more time to think about it, please pause the video and concentrate on one of these, well, which option you would like to choose. Once again, I would recommend that you close your eyes, take some deep breaths, meditate upon the question, and then open your eyes and select the first pile or crystal that stands out to you. I will see you at your reading. So once again, as a final selection video, these are the 4 piles that you have to choose from. Once again, the question is, how does your crush feel about you, or how does your crush see you? I'm going to be looking at any messages that Spirit wants to give about the person on your mind. And of course, when you're asking the question, you can feel free to ask the name of this person to make it more specific. I would actually also suggest you add their date of birth if you know it. And also, once again, as a suggestion for the selection of the pile, I would recommend you close your eyes, take some deep breaths, meditate upon the question, and also any other questions that you might have, because they might come up, and then open your eyes and just choose the first pile that stands out to you. So pile number 1 is this card over here and this yellow citrine cluster crystal. Pile number 2 is this card over here and this ruby zoisite, ruby in zoisite crystal. Pile number 3 is this card over here and this amethyst crystal. And pile number 4 is this card over here and this milky quartz crystal. You can pause the video if you would like to have more time and meditate upon the piles. And of course, once again, if you feel drawn to more than one pile, you are free to listen to several or even all of them and see which one resonates. I will see you at your reading. Hello, pile number 1. This is your reading. If you have chosen this yellow citrine cluster and this oracle card here, for which I will be reading the description from the booklet at the end after I select the cards. Of course, you can pause the video right now because I'm going to go ahead with the card selection and I'm going to be taking my time. Can I just say that? Okay, so Spirit, what can you tell me about pile number 1? The people who have chosen the yellow citrine cluster crystal and the transformation oracle card. How does their crush feel about them? How does their crush see them? What does their crush think about them? Tell me, Spirit. How does their crush see them? How does their crush feel about them? Spirit, what can you tell me about pile number 1? How does their crush feel about them? How does their crush see them? How does their crush see them or feel about them? The people who will choose the yellow citrine, how does their crush think about them? Spirit, what can you tell me about pile number 1? The people who have chosen the yellow citrine cluster. How does their crush feel about them? How does their crush see them? What can you tell me about pile number 1? The people who have chosen the yellow citrine cluster. How does your crush feel about them? Getting the urge to reshuffle. Spirit, how does pile number one's crush see them or feel about them? Okay. My foliage is moving. Okay. So, some oracle cards. Spirit, what can you tell me about pile number one? The people who chose the yellow citrine cluster. How does their crush feel about them? Weird. I'm getting the urge to get these two. Okay. Spirit, what can you tell me about pile number one? The people who have chosen the yellow citrine cluster crystal. How does their crush feel about them? How does their crush see them? How does their crush feel about them? How does their crush see them? Okay. So first, let me start with the oracle card. So you have dog friend. Today, I will love without condition. My energy and enthusiasm are an inspiration. I choose to be happy. I am a protector and a friend. And heron, patience. Create a place in nature's stillness and be renewed. Take time alone to find balance. Step confidently towards your purpose. Patience will bring you rewards. Okay, and then you also have these oracle cards, perfectionism and doubt. Okay, doubt. Offering all to the divine doesn't mean negativity never arises, but you can say, free me from this prison of doubt. I cast this burden to you. Show me your will and restore me to faith and confidence. Perfectionism, permission to make mistakes is so freeing. It's the root of creativity and change. Allow me, divine, to make as many mistakes as I need. Free me from the prison of perfectionism. Okay. Now I'm going to read the description for this oracle card from the book, number 26, Transformation. Where's the book? Yeah. Okay. Number 26, Transformation, opened exactly here. Process identity, seek answers. A woman is dressed in a red polka dot dress. The upper part has already begun the process of transforming into a butterfly. With her hand, she touches her chest. Is the butterfly a part of her body? Is it a symbol of her soul? Is the woman transforming into a new life? This card leaves us with more questions than answers. Maybe you will find answers by thinking about how you would respond to these questions. Am I the person I would like to be? What can I do right now to transform some small part of myself? Okay, interesting. Now let's see what the tarot cards are saying. So you have the Hermit. Okay. You have the Seven of Cups. You have Judgment. You have Six of Coins or Six of Pentacles. You have Eight of Wands. And you have King of Swords. Knight of Swords, sorry. The Knight of Swords, okay. Trying to squeeze them all in here. And then you have the Three of Wands. The Eight of Swords, the Lovers, okay, the Four of Pentacles, the Eight of Pentacles, the Star. Okay, wow. Okay, so the first things that I'm getting here is that this person sees you as kind of a lone wolf. But it is very obvious to this person that the reason you are a lone wolf is not because you lack options. Rather, because you are a very demanding individual. Because of the Seven of Cups and the Judgment and the Lover's card, okay, you come across as a person who would make a great romantic partner. You come across as someone who has a lot of passion. You can even come across as a little bit too intense sometimes, actually. But this person also sees that you have a lot of options. You have a lot of options. You might come across as very discerning and very demanding as well. And because of the Hermit card and the Three of Wands, to be honest, you also come across as a little bit shut down. This person feels like, although you do not lack options when it comes to dating options, you still have some hang-ups about relationships. You are a person who most likely is very determined, very pragmatic, a little bit workaholic. You come across as a person who cares a great deal about achieving something in your life because of these cards over here. So you come across as a go-getter, definitely. Sometimes too much of a go-getter. You might come across, like I said, as a little bit intense. But you also come across as a person who's very diligent, very disciplined, focused a lot on career, focused a lot on finances. You might be a teacher. You could come across as a person who is a good teacher, a person who is good at sharing their knowledge. And also a person who is generous to those who are in need, to those who are in a lesser position in society. You could be generous with both finances and knowledge and guidance. You also love to travel. You come across as a person who loves to travel. Probably you like to travel. Maybe you're the kind of person who, you know, if this is a person that you have on social media, you're connected through social media, you probably come across that's probably how they know you, and you come across as someone who really loves to travel a lot, maybe even adventurous. And you also just come across as a person who's very focused, very good at manifesting whatever it is that you want in life. You could be someone who's quite popular, or you come across as quite popular to this person. It's interesting because there is a dichotomy here between these like energies in your cards. You also have the Star. I mean, the last tarot card is the Star and the first one is the Hermit. So clearly this shows that this person sees you as a star. Okay, so this person sees you as someone who could even shine in the spotlight. Probably you come across as good looking, popular, or at least you come across as someone who has the ability to be popular. But because of the Hermit card, you also come across as a person who's quite, you know, self-contained, introverted, doesn't really, basically the opposite of an open book. You don't really let on too much about who you really are as a person. Or you come across as a person who only sticks to, you know, your little group of friends that is quite limited. Basically, like I said, the opposite of an open book. But you also come across as a person who, I think this person perceives you as someone who, once again, this is about perception. So if you don't feel like this sounds like you, of course, that doesn't mean that, I'm not trying to describe who you really are. I'm trying to describe how this person on your mind sees you. And this person sees you as someone who's maybe a little bit scared. Like they see you as someone who is a little bit in your comfort zone. You actually have this very adventurous streak. but for one reason or another, you are clinging to your comfort zone. You're afraid to make a leap, to take risks. This is why I say it's really interesting, because there's some paradoxical messages here. It's like, on the one hand, you do come across as someone who has the potential to be a risk taker and a go-getter, and I think to a considerable extent you do give off that vibe, but at the same time they can also perceive that you are holding back in some ways. Like, you are most likely overthinking things. This is how they see you, as a person who is maybe too rational when you're not supposed to be rational, or when there is no cause for you to be rational. Someone who has a lot of anxieties, has a lot of limiting thoughts and beliefs. I think you also come across as a bit of a control freak. A bit. Like a person who just doesn't really let go easily. You don't get carried away. But this person senses that underneath all that, there is a great deal of passion. You are a person who's very passionate. Like I said, they probably think that you're a very good lover. Like, you're a really good, passionate, romantic lover. But it's really interesting because you have the Lovers underneath the Judgment card. So on the one hand, this can be seen as, like I said, this person sees you as very discerning. So like, if you are single, for instance, or if you haven't had a lot of romantic partners, or if you're not out there being extroverted and posting a lot of, let's say, pictures from social events or hanging out with large groups of people, it's because you are so discerning. It's because you want to spend time with a small group of people that you really like, that you really trust. And you just don't care about having like hordes of friends that are maybe good time friends, or having one night stands or anything like that. So I really think this person overall sees you as really attractive. And also just sees that you're a person who has a lot of options romantically, and most likely romantically. I'm definitely getting vibes that this person, whoever you have asked about, sees you in a romantic way. Even if this is a person of like you're not romantically interested in, they see you as someone embodying all the things that I have mentioned. So someone who is romantic, has a lot of romantic options, comes across as a person who has a lot of hidden passion. So that is one way to interpret the Judgment and the Lovers. Another way to interpret it, which could be a little bit more subtle, but I think goes hand in hand with, goes along the same lines of thinking, is that they see you as someone who is waiting for the right person. Okay, so like, you maybe come across as someone who is guided by divine providence to a great extent. You come across as someone who's really spiritual, maybe religious. So they're going to assume that you're very demanding, and that most likely you are waiting for some kind of a, I don't know, like I said, divine providence, or some kind of a spiritual sign when it comes to choosing the right romantic partner, or even choosing the people that you allow close to you in general. The fact that you are kind of a control freak is reinforced by this perfectionism card and doubt. Free me from this prison of doubt. The doubt kind of goes hand in hand with this Eight of Swords energy, which is that you come across as someone who is holding yourself back. Like, I think this person sees you as someone who might be overthinking, and even though they see you as intelligent and capable and very diligent and responsible and capable of making good decisions, let's say, in some ways they see you as someone who's overthinking, like I mentioned. So even to the point where you might be a prisoner of your own thought processes. And perfectionism, like I said, so it goes hand in hand with, I think you come across as a little bit controlling. Or just perfectionist. There's no other way to put it. Today, my energy and enthusiasm are an inspiration. Interesting. Yeah, so I think you come across, this person really admires you. Like, if this is a romantic interest, they definitely it definitely feels like this person really likes you. At the very least, likes you, maybe even if, or maybe is even in love with you. But what I'm getting here is that, again, this Heron card here reinforces the Judgment and the Lovers. Okay, so you come across as someone who, and the Hermit card, okay, you come across as someone who just takes their time, does not compromise when it comes to relationships. You really want to be with people that are just worth it, that are compatible to you, that are basically in alignment with your higher self, with your authentic self. Like, you have no patience for fools, basically, that kind of thing. And you also come across as very loving and loyal and protective as well. So overall, I really feel like this person, especially if you're a woman, this person finds you very physically attractive, especially if you're a woman. But even if you're a man, I would say especially if you're a woman, but even if you're a man, they will still see you as attractive. Um, but I think if you're a man, this person kind of sees your feminine side, despite whatever you might try to portray on the surface. Like, maybe you, if you're a man, you want to be seen as, or you perceive yourself to be this really tough person, but this person sees the softy, like, within, sees like the soft side of you, the passionate side of you, the messy side of you, like the more emotional side of you. You also come across as a person who loves nature. Again, this could be because maybe if this is a person you know on social media, and with the star card, I definitely feel like this is a person that you do know on social media, or a person who watches your social media. Okay, so maybe you're not even aware of the fact that they are watching your, I don't know, Instagram or Facebook profiles, or if you have a YouTube channel. Because of the star card, this shows that, yeah, this is kind of like a admiring from afar energy, and admiring someone's beauty. But you also come across as very respectable and very professional. I feel like you're also a person who is, I mean, maybe you are, maybe you aren't, but this person sees you as someone who is, if not successful professionally, on a sure path to become professionally successful. They see you as someone who is well educated, responsible, in a decent position financially as well. You come across as maybe not particularly wealthy, but very good at managing your money. You come across as also, actually, I think you come across as quite frugal to this person. But it's an interesting balance here between, on the one hand, you being frugal, or they see you as like frugal and very careful with money, managing your money, but at the same time, very consciously working towards improving your finances, and at the same time also being capable of generosity when it is called for, when people rely on you. But overall, yes, I feel like this person sees you as cautious, if not controlling even, but definitely cautious. Maybe a little bit inhibited as well, I'm getting. And with a deep wanderlust. Like, because of the Eight of Wands and the Three of Wands here, you come across as a person who really loves to travel. Like I said, so again, this makes me think of social media. If you're posting pictures of travels, this is what this person sees, that you're someone who really loves to travel. It's interesting because with the Hermit and the Three of Wands underneath, I think that you might be someone who travels. Like, they see you as someone who is not afraid to travel on your own even. And yeah, a person who's attracted to foreign cultures. And also they see you as spiritual. I think they see you as above average spiritual. Not like some kind of a high priest or priestess, but they definitely see that you have a spiritual side, an intuitive side. They see you as a profound individual, definitely not shallow. Despite the fact that you also are very likely physically attractive, especially in this person's eyes. Okay, so pile 1, this is pretty much what I have for you, and I hope that you have found it useful. Wait, there's one thing that I can think about. With the transformation card, interesting. Actually, now that I think about it, well, the theme is kind of repeated here between the transformation and the judgment card. This looks like a bat, actually, more than more than a butterfly or a moth. But I feel like there could be something about transformation here as well. So maybe this person sees you as someone who has like some kind of an ugly duckling complex. Like maybe they know that you are someone who went through a phase when you were maybe not particularly attractive, or when you were seen as not particularly attractive. This leads me to think of something like, you know, I don't know, weight loss or some kind of a body transformation, like maybe even plastic surgery, or going to the gym. Like they see you as someone who has gone through some kind of significant transformation, most likely to do with your physical appearance as well. But it could also be on a spiritual plane, like you're someone who has changed a great deal, especially if this is someone that has known you for a while. So especially if you're asking about a person that you know has known you for at least a few years and you have gone through some kind of changes, they have noticed that. Even though maybe you think they haven't, they see you as someone who has changed. Most likely for the better. Or another interpretation is that they see you as someone who could change. That's another way to look at it. Like they see you as a diamond in the rough. And that's definitely another plausible explanation looking at these cards, because they see you as a little bit inhibited. Maybe you even come across as a bit shy, but they can see you as like this very glamorous. You have the potential to be the star image, this lover's image. So someone who's very glamorous, very confident, basically a total butterfly that catches all of the attention around, all the light around them. So yes. Yeah, so in other words, they might see you as someone who is selling themselves short sometimes, or underestimating yourself. Okay, so this is it. This is what I can see in your cards, and I hope you have found it useful and you haven't enjoyed it, because I definitely think that it has been interesting. I hope it resonates, and I hope this was useful. And if you have liked it, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. And also, if you're interested in a personal reading, you can email me at the email in the video description. Thank you. Hello, pile number 2. This is your reading if you have chosen this ruby in zoisite crystal, and this card, oracle card, that says Lorelei, for which I will read the description I will read the description towards the end after I select all the cards. Okay, so once again, I'm going to add timestamps. You can skip directly to the reading interpretation, but I'm going to be taking my time to select the cards. Okay, so Spirit, what can you tell me about pile number 2, the people who have chosen the ruby zoisite crystal and the Lorelei oracle card? How does their crush see them? How does their crush feel about them? What does their crush think about them? What can you tell me about pile 2, the people who have chosen the ruby zoisite crystal and the Lorelei card? How does their crush see them? How does their crush feel about them, Spirit? How does your crush feel about them? How does their crush see them? How does your crush feel about them? Getting the urge to reshuffle. Spirit, how does pile number 2's crush see them? Okay. Spirit. Okay. Spirit, what can you tell me about pile number 2, the people who have chosen the ruby zoisite crystal and the Lorelei oracle card? What can you tell me about how their crush feels about them? How does their crush see them? The person that they're thinking about, what do they think about them? What do they feel about pile number 2? So tell me, Spirit, what do they feel? What do they think about pile number 2? What does pile number 2's crush feel about them, think about them? Help me out, Spirit. Spirit, what does pile number 2's crush think about them? How does pile number 2's crush see them or feel about them? Tell me, Spirit. How does pile number 2's crush feel about them or think about them? Spirit, how does pile number 2's crush see them or feel about them? What do they think about pile number 2? Help me out here, Spirit. How does pile number 2's crush see them? How does pile number 2's crush think about them? What do they think about them? Tell me, Spirit. Help me out here. Okay, so let's see the oracle cards first. You have Deer with love and pronghorn action. Both of these are basically like deer. Okay, so the Deer card says, be gentle with yourself. You heal with the power of love. See the light in all things. Acknowledge your self-worth and grace. Pronghorn action. Now is the time to act. Opportunities are here. Move forward with confidence. Your talents will always help you land on the pinnacle. Your quick wit and keen senses will lead you to success. Interesting. Gonna leave these here. Okay, these other oracle cards, let's see. Contentment and companionship. Contentment, you can learn to rest in what you already have and already are. Suddenly you remember, I'm right here resting in God. Companionship, when you fully bless and embrace your aloneness, you're ready for the ones who are meant to be with you. May I welcome this solitude, knowing it will open the way for all healthy relationships. Okay. Where should I put this? Yeah, I think this is the right place. Okay, and now I'm going to read the description for this oracle card that says Lorelei. I'm going to read the description from the booklet. Let me see. Number 31. Okay, Lorelei. Power, responsibility, fate, grace. A mermaid sits on a rock and gazes toward the ocean. A small ship floats nearby, connected with her through a rope. She has the power to decide the destiny of this ship and the fate of the crew. With a flick of her wrist, she could toss the ship against the shore, or she could let it continue its journey. What will the mermaid decide to do? She has suffered great loss in her own life. Will she continue the cycle of pain, or will she allow healing and grace to calm the waters? Wow, okay. Very interesting. I already have some ideas, but let's see what the tarot cards are saying. Okay, so you have the Three of Cups. Oh, come on, come on, come on. The Six of Wands. The Three of Wands. The Four of Cups. The King of Wands and the Three of Swords. Okay. The Strength card. The King of Swords. The Knight of Cups. The Judgment card. This also came out in pile number 1. The Sun. The Four of Swords. Wow. This is similar to pile number 1, actually. So if you were drawn to pile number 1, you might also want to check that out. There might also be messages for you there. Also, the Three of Swords the Three of Wands came out in pile number 1 as well. But yeah, overall, there is a different vibe. There is a more specific vibe in your case. But here with the Four of Cups and the Judgment card, again, I can say similarly to pile number 1, this person sees you as someone who has quite a few options romantically. But they also see you as someone who's difficult to please. Here I'm getting a strong feeling that you come across as someone who was wounded in the past because of the Three of Swords and the Four of Cups. The Four of Cups represents a person who, on the one hand, is discerning, but it's a different kind of discerning than, let's say, the Seven of Cups. The Seven of Cups, for instance, would show that you have a lot of options and you just don't know which one to choose, or just that you have too many options and, you know, invariably some of those options will be disappointed if you don't choose them as a romantic partner. But with the Four of Cups, there is a specific message here that you are kind of, how should I put it? You're too hurt to see the options around you. It's like you have options, but you don't even realize that you do. And I feel like there's a distinct message here that you come across as someone who has suffered quite a lot in your life. This person may not know exactly what you went through, but you come across as someone who was hurt deeply. You come across as someone who, maybe even right now, at the moment of this reading, you come across as someone who is heartbroken. In any case, if there's nothing specific that this person knows about you, you come across as maybe again, I'm sorry to use this word, maybe you come across as a little bit bitter, or you come across as angry or shut down. I feel like there's a message that you are hyper rational and hyper discerning and very tough, very stoic. Both of these cards show stoicism. You come across as very, I think, closed off in many ways. And this person likely assumes that the reason you are closed off is because you were disappointed and hurt in the past, especially in romantic relationships. But it could be any kind of relationship, like people betrayed you a lot. But conversely, you also come across as someone who is a very good friend. Also, you come across as someone who can have fun, I think. despite your initial, let's say, serious demeanor or stoicism, you also come across as a great friend, someone who is up for, having some laughs, some drinks. You like to go out and socialize every now and then. You also come across as a person who's very, very creative. Like, this person sees you as kind of a Leo. You might be someone who has a strong Leo, or this person perceives you as someone who has strong Leo or strong Sun energy in your horoscope. They see you as kind of a leader, like someone who you just seem like you're born to be a leader. You probably come across as someone who's naturally commanding and noble. People admire you, I think. People look up to you. You also come across as very, very creative to this person. Very creative and very intuitive as well, because of the Knight of Cups. You could come across as creative, artistic, romantic. Also, you come across as someone who has a romantic streak, but may not necessarily show that side of yourself too easily because of the King of Swords here. And also the Four of Swords, the Three of Swords and the Four of Swords here just show a kind of wariness. There's a wariness about you. This person perceives you as being a bit tired. And I mean, you know what I mean? It's a tiredness that doesn't necessarily come from physical exhaustion, although that could be the case. But most likely it comes from just wariness. You're world weary. You're wary of relationships. You're not really open emotionally. I think they perceive you like this. Maybe not open for relationships. They also see you as someone who's quite successful or has the ability to become very successful. You could be a person who is kind of like a leader. Maybe you are a leader in your field, or you have a decent social status where people just respect you. You also come across as someone who is, similarly to pile number one, you do come across as a bit stuck, but in a bit of a different way. And stuck, I mean, with you, unlike pile number one, I think with you, you're most likely stuck because of your emotions, because you're dwelling on the past and past hurts, or like you're still healing from something. You may have gone through a heartbreak recently, or you come across as someone that has gone through a lot of heartbreak, or you have gone through a heartbreak recently, and you're still taking time to recover from that. And I think romantically, especially, you come across as someone who is still a little bit in your comfort zone, like doesn't really want to take risks. So this is something to take into account, because if you're considering this person as a romantic interest, you should know that maybe they see you as not very open towards relationships, or they see you as very tough and very stoic. And you could come across as a bit intimidating, actually, to this person. Even though I feel like strongly they admire you, really. And I feel like they see a hidden sensitivity in you. Look, because of the oracle cards as well, the deer with love, and this oracle card, the Lorelei, with the description that it had. The Lorelei seems to reinforce the Three of Swords energy, which is, they see you as someone who is basically at some kind of a crossroads in your life, where you should be careful, because if you give in to your past hurts, you could end up becoming an abuser. Maybe this is for some of you. I know that sounds maybe too specific. But yeah, they see you as a person who's hurt. They see you as a person who is a little bit shut down. And with the contentment and companionship, I feel like this person thinks that you should take a chance on you should take a chance on relationships, but at the same time, oh, this is interesting actually. I just thought about it now. For some of you, it could be the case that this person sees you as selling yourself short in relationships, because you could be a person that has poor boundaries. They might see you like this. I mean, of course, take it how it resonates and what this person might know about you. But the Four of Cups, one way to interpret it, especially when it comes to relationships, is that you may not have strong boundaries, and this person, I feel like, sees you as someone who might open up to people who don't deserve you. That's why there's this message in these cards of don't be afraid to be alone, and the right people will come for you. Like, the right people will show up in your life when you are ready. Basically, once you learn to be content within yourself, once you learn to love yourself, the right people will show up. So this could be a message for some of you. Like, you could be, maybe this person has seen you dating people that have really walked over you or have taken advantage of you. People that they see are just not good enough for you, but you might be heartbroken about them. So I feel like if this person were to talk to you, they would probably tell you, stop selling yourself short. And this is a very specific message for some of you. Maybe if this is the, like if you've been in relationships with narcissists or people who maybe disrespected you. Overall, I feel like this person sees you as a very cool person. I definitely feel like they think of you as someone like that is like long-term romantic relationship potential. They see you as someone that they could be good friends with, and also someone that they could rely on, and they also see you as someone who's romantic, and they feel like you have a lot of inner strength. Like, I'm definitely getting the feeling that you come across as someone who has strong Leo energy, because there are 3 cards here that suggest Leo. The Sun is the ruler of Leo, and then you have the King of Wands, which to me is Leo energy. And then you have the Strength card, which has the Lion, which again kind of makes me think of Leo. So I wouldn't be surprised if you follow astrology. I wouldn't be surprised if you have Sun in the 1st house, Sun in the 10th house, Sun in the Aruda Lagna. But I won't get into too advanced stuff. But yeah, I think this person perceives you as a very Leonine person, like someone who has this ability to inspire others, to energize others. Like, even when you yourself are not in the best mental state or emotional state, I feel like they might perceive that you are hurt, but you're not someone who spreads bad mood. You're someone who keeps a strong face and keeps going despite any hardships that you may have gone through. And also another thing that I think this person would tell you, I mean, actually the 4 of Swords kind of goes hand in hand with these oracle cards as well, in the sense that I feel like this person, if they could talk to you, they would say, if they could talk openly to you, they would say, you need to take some time off dating. You need to take some time off to go within yourself, to, get in touch with your essence, to heal your past wounds, your past traumas, disappointments, whatever negative feelings you might still be dealing with. And only after that, consider dating again, I think. And also, I think I mentioned this kind of, yeah, you come across as spiritual, I would say, quite spiritual and intuitive, and also discerning. Like, you definitely also come across as someone who, you're quite, like, you're not the kind of person that is just going to have a relationship with anyone, but at the same time, you might have a bad radar when it comes to picking the right person. So even though you're picky, your radar could be a little bit off, and you may not be choosing the right people for you. So let me see, what else can I say? Oh, here. Oh, wow. Yeah, I also feel like this person, whoever it is, interesting. So here's how I would interpret this. Like, I think some of them, the ones who are more spiritually mature, let's say, the more spiritually evolved, maybe a little bit older, they can see that you need time off, okay? They can see that you're not in a great mental, emotional state. And like I said, if they could talk to you, they would say, see a therapist, you know, work on yourself, work on your traumas, rest, take care of yourself, take it easy. You know, don't throw yourself headfirst into a new relationship. But then there's the other people, or maybe the same people, they think once you are healed, they would definitely date you. And I think that because of this, like, it says, now is the time to act. Opportunities are here. Move forward with confidence, which kind of reinforces the Four of Cups energy. So it's kind of like this person sees that you would be a great match for them. They see you as a great match for them, but you don't notice them. They feel like you don't really see them as an option because you are still so caught up in your past heartbreak. Like, they're sitting right there, maybe even willing to offer, you know, make an offer of love for you, but they feel like you would not really embrace that offer. So again, if they're more mature, they will understand that you need some time off and they will be willing to wait for you. But if they're not as mature, they might be just frustrated because they see you as someone who is kind of hung up on the past and not seeing what a great potential romantic partner they would be for you. Yeah, that's how I'm seeing it. But yeah, pretty much this is what I have for you, pile 2. So please comment in the comment section if it resonated. I am very curious. I have definitely enjoyed this reading and I hope it was useful. And if you have enjoyed this, of course, do not forget to like the video and subscribe to my channel and hit the notifications bell to see when I'll post a new video. And of course, if you're interested in a personal tarot reading, you can email me at the email in the video description and I will send you some more details. Thank you. Hello, pile number 3. This is your reading if you have chosen this oracle card that says secrets, for which I will read the description after I have selected all the cards, or if you have chosen this amethyst crystal. So once again, you can I'm gonna add timestamps and you can jump directly to the reading of the cards because I'm going to be taking my time to select the cards. Okay, so Spirit, what can you tell me about pile number 3, the people who have chosen the amethyst crystal, and or number 43, the oracle card that says secrets? Okay, what can you tell me about pile number 3? How does their crush see them? How does their crush feel about them? What does their crush think about them? Tell me, Spirit. How does their crush see them? How does their crush feel about them, Spirit? What can you tell me about pile 3, the people who have chosen the amethyst crystal? How does their crush see them? How does their crush see them or think about them? Spirit, how does pile number 3's crush see them or feel about them, or what did they think about them? Anything you can tell me about pile number 3's crush and how they view pile number 3 would be greatly appreciated, Spirit. Getting the urge to reshuffle. How does pile number 3, how does their crush see them? How does their crush feel about them, Spirit. Spirit, what can you tell me about pile number 3's crush, the people who have chosen the amethyst crystal? How does their crush see them? How does their crush feel about them, Spirit? How does their crush see them or feel about them? Tell me, Spirit. Tell me. What can you tell me about pile number 3? How does their crush see them or feel about them? How does their crush see them or feel about them? Spirit, help me out here. This card? No. How does pile number 3's crush see them or feel about them? How does pile number 3's crush see them or feel about them? Or what do they think about the pile number 3? Come on, Spirit. Wait, oh. Spirit, what can you tell me about pile number 3's crush? How do they see pile number 3? How do they feel about pile number 3? Help me out here, Spirit. What can you tell pile number 3 about how their crush views them or sees them? What can you tell pile number 3 about how their crush sees them? Or yeah, this one? I'm not sure. Okay, I'm gonna reshuffle. Spirit, what can you tell me about pile number 3, Spirit? Their crush. How do they see pile number 3? What do they think about pile number 3? What did they think about pile number 3, Spirit? Spirit, what can you tell me about pile number 3? The people who have chosen the amethyst crystal. How do they view pile number 3? How does their crush view them? What does their crush think about pile number 3? Help me out here, Spirit. Okay, so we have deer again, like number 2, and polar bear. Okay, so deer with love. Be gentle with yourself. You heal with the power of love. See the light in all things. Acknowledge your self-worth and grace. Polar bear, mystic. Know that challenges make you stronger. Have faith when you face adversity. Take time to rest, dream, and renew your strength. Embrace your psychic abilities. You carry the shaman within. Okay. I'm already getting some pretty strong messages here already from the first 2 oracle cards. Okay. Contentment, just as pile number 2. So if you feel drawn to pile number 2, you should also check it out because maybe there are messages there. So you have contentment and empowerment. Empowerment, when you ask the divine to take over, you get pulled into your own authentic power. It's a force of inner love that wants your wholeness and magnificence. Unfold my true and radiant self, dear Lord. Wow, okay. Contentment, you can learn to rest in what you already have and already are. Suddenly you remember, I'm right here resting in God. Okay. And now I'm going to read the description from the booklet for this card that says secrets. Let's see, number 43. Let's see. Number 43. Magic, mystery, hidden thoughts. A girl on a stool is tall enough to reach the moon. She holds a ring of keys in her hand. One of them will fit in the keyhole on the moon's surface. This card tells us about personal secrets, hidden thoughts, and ideas one keeps in their mind. Nobody is able to look inside your head unless you invite them to. You have the power to decide how much of your thoughts you want to share with others. A little mystery helps keep the magic alive. Very interesting. Okay. Like, this just, all of a sudden I got that song in my head. If you've seen The Craft from the 90s, there was this song of, I don't know what it was called. I think it's called Dark Secret. And there was a line there were some lyrics that said, "You are sickened by the weakness of a heart that's filled with fear. And if the world can't understand you, you can make it disappear. Or if the world won't understand you, you can make it disappear." So I feel like this person sees you as very powerful. Like a person who might even have mystical powers. But let's see what the tarot cards say. Okay, Two of Wands. Knight of Coins or Knight of Pentacles. Oh, come on. Wow, the Tower. Okay. The Magician. What did I say? Okay, this person sees you as a mystic. The Chariot. Oops. The Ten of Coins or the Ten of Pentacles. Wow, they see you as a powerful manifester. But okay, let me check out everything. Judgment. I can't believe this. Like, this card has come up in all piles until now. I don't know. I've never seen such judgmental people until... I'm kidding. Death. It's clear. This person sees you as a necromancer, as a psychic, as someone who has dark powers. The Eight of Cups. Also a person who has gone through some emotional pain. Page of Pentacles. The Five of Cups. The Knight of Swords. Okay. So yeah, what I see clearly. All right, the Tower. Interesting. So what I see the strongest definitely is that you come across as very scorpionic to this person with the Death card and the Magician. Like, they see you as someone who is very mysterious with the Secrets card as well. Someone who possesses hidden powers. Like, you come across as a very strong person, very hidden, very difficult to read. They find you really fascinating. They find you very, yeah, like I said, like a mystic. Look at this, the polar bear with mystic as well. You carry the shaman within. Embrace your psychic abilities. This might be a person who sees your... okay, this is about how they see you. So depending on how accurately they see you, they might see your intuitive abilities better than you see them yourself. On the other hand, they could just be projecting. Of course, it depends on how well they see you and who you really are. See how this resonates. If you feel like this resonates, this is a person who sees you very clearly, obviously. Okay, so if you do find yourself, if you do see yourself in this description of being scorpionic, intense, maybe you are into Wicca or any kind of shamanism, witchcraft. Maybe you are, if this person sees you on social media, maybe you're someone who posts about, you know, spells and spiritual new age things. So yeah, they find that intriguing. They see you as a person who is quite in touch with your spiritual side. They might even see you as having a touch of sinister about you, like dangerous. For some reason, I keep getting songs from The Craft. I was thinking about The Dangerous Type. It's also a song on the soundtrack of that film. So, yeah, I mean, this is like some witchy stuff here. They also see you as very successful, very driven. You might be a person who has good social status. But if you're not, they see you as someone who's going places and going there fast with the Chariot. They might even see you as someone who is very much into cars or like means of transportation. Maybe you're someone who's into bikes or um, bikes, cars, even race cars, something like that. Something to do with cars. Like they might see you as someone who's interested in cars. Or if that doesn't sound at all like you, they're just going to see you as someone who's very much a go-getter, very determined, very confident. You just keep your eyes on the prize no matter what. They also see you as a person who's like an alchemist, a person who has a great ability to achieve whatever you want, to manifest whatever you want. And also they see you as someone as having a great potential to get everything in life. The Ten of Pentacles is a card that basically shows absolute success. It shows material success, family, someone who's capable of leaving a legacy. Also someone who's very career driven, I would say, because the Ten of Pentacles is, you know, underneath the Ten of Pentacles or the Ten of Coins, you have the Knight of Swords. It's further reinforced that you come across as really intense. I'm definitely getting like you come across as a Scorpio or an Aries or like different combinations of more intense energies. Maybe you have Mars in the first house or Mars in the Aruda Lagna. But again, I won't get too in-depth with astrology. But yeah, I mean, you also have an air of, how should I put it? Of carrying some kind of an emotional burden. You come across as a person who has gone through a lot, and you have amazing regeneration powers, which again kind of goes hand in hand with the Scorpio energy. Because you have the Tower and then you have the Eight of Cups, they see you as a person who has gone through a lot. Like maybe you've gone through a lot of sudden changes, maybe even, you know, complete collapsing of the world around you, but you were able to move on eventually, or maybe you're still moving on, you're still in the recovery phase, but they see you as a person who has a great power of regeneration. You can recover from anything. I think they see you as also a person who just is wise emotionally. You know, like you see that you accept what you can change, I feel. You don't waste your time on things that you know are a bad investment, whether they are a bad investment materially or emotionally. You're pretty pragmatic and pretty tough. They also see you as a person who has the ability, you're very driven, I think, by money. They see you as a person who really cares about money, about you're working diligently. They see you as someone who's working diligently towards building financial security for yourself. Not necessarily stingy, but definitely caring about money. They do see you as a person who, it's really interesting because all the piles so far have had similar themes. Similar, but far from identical. You have the Five of Cups here. This shows me that this person sees you as someone who doesn't see the opportunities around you. And again, since this is about how your crush sees you, I feel like this crush of yours might be seeing you as a potential partner, and they might be frustrated because they think that you don't see them as a potential partner. So it's like they see you as someone who's crying over spilled milk, basically. Like you might be still maybe mulling over the past. This could be past relationships or past hardships that you have gone through. Maybe not directly connected to romantic relationships, but some kind of emotional pain, okay? Some almost like a feeling of mourning here. Maybe for some of you, this is literally like they see you as someone who has gone through bereavement, maybe even recently. So I think they see you as a person who will not notice them, because you are still thinking about the past, or you're still you're still kind of like you haven't closed a chapter. And again, this is about how they see you. So of course take it how it resonates. But it's important for you to understand how they see you so that you can know what actions to take. But I think they see you as a person who is not ready to have a relationship or not open to have a relationship. Like, because you're still thinking about some ex, like a past romantic interest, or because you are a person who is kind of a glass half empty person, you know, like they see you as really serious, really intense. Maybe you're overly focused on your career, on your finances. That's how you come across. I mean, it's really interesting that the Judgment card came out in all three piles up until now. If it comes out in pile 4, I don't know, like there's a very strong message here from Spirit. The Judgment card is something about karma. Sometimes, okay? In the more practical sense, the Judgment card speaks of just being discerning. You come across as a very discerning person. Contentment. Sorry for taking a while to mull over the cards here, but I was trying to put some things together. Interesting. I feel like this person, when you ask the divine to take over, you get pulled into your own authentic power. It's a force of inner love that wants your wholeness and magnificence, unfold my true and radiant self. So I think this person could see you as someone who is not aware of your power. Like, they see all these things about you. They see you as someone who has a very strong aura, very intense aura. You're someone who looks like they know how to deal with tough situations, okay? You're like, you come across as someone who's kind of like a rock. Like, people come to you in situations of crisis. And I think they think you don't see your power. You may come across as too shy, or you just don't, you just for some reason come across as someone who is not in your power. I feel like they might be thinking, oh, if only pile number 3 would notice me, I would love them for who they are, or I would adore them for who they are, or I would help them, you know, be their best selves, their authentic selves. You just come across as someone who has gone through some major transformation in your life. So again, take this how it resonates. This could mean a number of things. This could even be something about your physical appearance, like maybe you're someone who has gone through some kind of severe physical change. So this is similar to either pile number 1 or number 2. I don't remember, but it was something similar. Like, I think that you come across as someone who has gone through some kind of serious transformation in life. Either you had like plastic surgery, weight loss, or, you know, going to the gym and getting more muscular, changing your appearance, or maybe changing your clothing style, the way you present yourself. Like, they see you as someone who has gone through some major transformation. Or this could just refer to who you are as a person, like your personality. Maybe if this is a person who has known you for some time, they see you as someone who has changed significantly since the first time that they have seen you. And also a person who has the power to navigate through a lot of changes, a lot of ups and downs. The Two of Wands is very similar to the Three of Wands, I feel, but it's even closer. I think the Two of Wands and the Three of Wands came out in the other 2 piles. This is why I say it's really eerie how similar the energies here are. But yeah, I mean, the Two of Wands shows even more than the Three of Wands that you're still in your, like, you come across as, in a way, a voyeur, like a person who sometimes you come across as someone who just stays on the sidelines and looks at other people, like, but you don't like to get involved directly in the action, if that makes sense. Like, this person could see you as someone who's very, very secretive and very introverted and very guarded, to the point where they can't figure you out much at all, aside from surface things, but they find you very intriguing, very fascinating, very attractive. Yeah, I mean, I also, so see how this resonates. For some of you, it could be that you already have gone through some significant transformation. For others, it could be that this person sees you as someone who has the potential to completely turn your circumstances around. So if you're a person who has gone through significant hardships in life, they see you as someone who can just completely, you know, completely be completely reborn, like a phoenix from the ashes, and become a total success story, like a rags to riches story. But yeah, so overall, intense, pragmatic, a person who is good at crisis situations. What I really notice now is that here on this card, you have the moon. Interesting. So she has the moon here, the sun, and the earth. And here you also have the moon. And here you also have the moon. So yeah, to me, this shows that this person sees you as a very intuitive person. Like you, there's something mystical, intuitive, very sensitive as well. I think this person perceives your hidden sensitivity. And they also see you as like someone who has a great ability to, they see you as someone possessing very powerful emotions, very intense emotions, but at the same time capable of being soft and nurturing, and also someone who is capable of being vulnerable. But I think if I were to go on a limb here, I think this person is curious about seeing your vulnerable side, because I feel like they see you as someone who's very careful about, you know, being stoic and controlling yourself, and hiding, I think, your true nature. So they feel this strong desire to uncover what is in there. Yep. So pretty much this is what I see for you, pile number 3. So I hope you have enjoyed this reading, because I definitely have, and I hope it resonates and it was useful. And of course, if you have enjoyed it, please do not forget to like the video and subscribe to my channel and hit the notifications bell to see when I will post a new video. And of course, if you're interested in a personal tarot reading, you can email me at the email in the video description, and I can send you more details by email. Thank you. Hello pile 4, this is your reading. If you have chosen this oracle card that has the word listen on it, for which I will read the description after I have selected the rest of the cards, and also and or if you have chosen this milky quartz. So I'm going to add timestamps, and you can skip directly to the reading of the cards, because I'm going to be taking my time right now with the selection process. Okay, so Spirit, what can you tell me about pile number 4, the people who have chosen the milky quartz or the oracle card that says listen? I normally do not select, because I've had some people ask, why don't you select the cards that fall out? Normally, I don't. I just go by what feels right. I go for a feeling in my stomach, literally, and I found that it works for me. Some people choose the cards that fall out. Okay, so Spirit, what can you tell me about pile number 4? How does their crush feel about them? How does their crush see them? How does their crush think about them? Or what does their crush think about them? Pile number 4, the people who have chosen the oracle card that says listen. or the milky quartz crystal. Tell me, Spirit, what can you tell me about pile number 4 and their crush? How does their crush feel about them, Spirit? Any message you would like to give is welcome. What can you tell me about pile number 4, the people who have chosen the milky quartz? Does it feel right? Reshuffling. Spirit, what can you tell me about pile number 4, the people who have chosen the milky quartz crystal? What can you tell me about their crush? How does their crush see them or feel about them right now? How does their crush see them or feel about them right now, Spirit? What can you tell me about pile number 4? Tell me. Your cards are taking longer for the selection. Interesting. What can you tell me about pile number 4? And how does their crush feel about them, Spirit? How does their crush feel about them? Okay. Spirit, how does their crush feel about them? How does their crush feel about pile number 4, the people who have chosen the milky quartz crystal? How does their crush see them, Spirit? How does their crush see them, feel about them? Spirit, how does pile number 4's crush see them or feel about them? Help me out. How does pile number 4's crush see them or feel about them? How does pile number 4's crush see them or feel about them, Spirit? Help me out here. Help me out here, Spirit. How does pile number 4 see them, their crush? How does their pile number 4's crush see them or think about them? Tell me about pile number 4 and their crush. How does this person see pile number 4? How do they feel about pile number 4? How do they feel about pile number 4, Spirit? Spirit, how does pile number 4's crush see them or feel about them? What do they think about pile number 4? Tell me, Spirit. Help me out here. What message do you have for pile number 4 about how their crush sees them or feels about them? I'm getting this one, but I don't know about this one. Reshuffling. Spirit, tell me about pile number 4. How does their crush see them or feel about them? Help me out, Spirit. Give them a message. How does pile number 4's crush see them or feel about them? How does pile number 4's crush see them or feel about them? Spirit, how does pile number 4's crush see them or feel about them? What do they think about pile number 4? Help me out here, Spirit. What does pile number 4's crush see them like, or what do they feel about pile number 4? How do they see pile number 4? How do they feel about them? Okay. So let's see. Again, the polar bear. I can't believe the repetitions in these cards. Okay. So pile number 3 also got the polar bear, so I can tell you right now, if you felt drawn to pile number 3 as well, you might want to also check out that reading. So you have polar bear and bison. Okay, mystic. Know that challenges make you stronger. Have faith when you face adversity. Take time to rest, dream, and renew your strength. Embrace your psychic abilities. You carry the shaman within. Bison, abundance. Sacred buffalo, cloak me in your wisdom. Keep me warm through the storms of life. Fill my life with goodness. Teach me the way of gratitude and prayer. Okay. True love. Oh, independence. Okay. Let's see. So, independence. The more you learn to feed yourself on the inside and care for the inner child, the more freestanding you become. Help me feed and love this inner child, dear Lord. True love. Your wholeness and safety lie within, not from a partner. But this sovereignty actually leads to the deepest intimacy for you to stop using others. Let me stand on my own feet, dear Lord, and know true love. Interesting. Okay, now I'm going to read the description for this oracle card that says, listen, from the booklet. Let's say number 6. Where is it? Okay. Mindfulness, sensitivity, empathy. This young woman with closed eyes and a knowing smile is rooted in the earth. Her hair has transformed into the roots of the plants above her. You can tell the woman is aware of her surroundings. She is connected to the voice of nature. She can listen to the growing plants beneath the ground. She is an integral part of her world. She understands the sorrows and worries of the environment. She also knows the song of nature's pleasures. Wow. Okay, very interesting. Let's see what the tarot cards have. So you have the 4 of Swords. Come on. The 2 of Cups. Ooh. Okay. The Emperor. Interesting. The Queen of Cups. The 9 of Pentacles. The 8 of Pentacles. The Emperor again, the Page of Cups, the 3 of Swords, Judge. I can't believe it. I cannot believe it. I mean, I shuffled the hell out of those cards, and the Judgment card came out for each pile. The 9 of Swords underneath the 9 of Pentacles. Very much, Spirit is very much awake with me tonight. Death. Thank you, Spirit. It's amazing. Okay, so clearly the strongest message here: independence, true love. The Emperor actually, funnily enough, kind of gives me the same vibe as this card. Maybe not exactly the description. Also the 9 of Pentacles as well. Like, this card gives me the feeling of like you come across to this person as someone who is very at peace. I mean, in some way, maybe at peace is not the best way to say it, because you also have the 3 of Swords and the 9 of Swords. You come across as a person who is stable and quite established. Like, I feel this person perceives you as a very stable, steady, mature individual who is not, despite other appearances or what else might be going on in your life or the way that they see you, is not easily ruffled, right? You come across as someone who can weather many a storm. Obviously, with the true love and the 2 of Cups, this person, I feel, definitely sees you as a potential romantic partner. I feel like this person actually sees you as their equal. Like they see you as someone they could have a partnership, most likely romantic, because the Two of Cups is about romance and it's about new love, especially the beginning of love. I feel like this person sees you as someone that could be an equal partner, someone who can meet them halfway, someone that they can, like, in some way, they might see you as mirroring them. They might see you as just their equal in strength, in character, maybe similar values. Like they feel like they might see you as you two being two peas in the same pod, if that makes sense. Even for some of you, it could be as far as that. If they don't see you exactly as two peas in the same pod situation, they still see you as someone that they have a lot in common with and someone that they could have a romantic relationship with. Because of the Emperor, it's interesting. So if you're a woman, very interesting that the Emperor came out. So if you're a woman, actually irrespective of your gender or what you identify with, this person sees you as a safe haven. They see you as someone they could potentially rely on, someone who is safe, someone who is mature, who's not going to play with their feelings, someone who's serious, someone who is stable, like I said. Funny enough, like a parent figure, and I know this sounds very Sigmund Freud, but they might see you as kind of either they can see you, true for some of them in some situations. It could be that this person is projecting their needs for a parent figure onto you. So like they might see you as like the parent figure they never had but wish they had on some level. That might be the case. But it could also be that they see you as a person who could be a great parent, so or both of these, they'll see you as like someone that they can build a stable foundation with and a solid relationship with. They also see you with the Emperor again. The Emperor is also a sign of sorry, I am used to astrology. It's a card that suggests an established position. So this person sees you as quite well off, I feel, also because of the Nine of Pentacles here and the Eight of Pentacles, or the coins, pentacles, the same thing. Because these cards show a person who is methodical, serious, quite established. The Eight of Pentacles shows a person who is very close to being an established professional in their field, in their line of work, or either someone who's very close to becoming established or someone who already is established, someone who has a stable job, stable professional life. The Nine of Pentacles, they see you as a person who is self-made, like someone who is self-made, self-reliant. And again, if this doesn't sound like you, they see this as your potential, as this is what you can be in your best expression. Like they'll see you as someone who definitely has the ability to take care of yourself financially. And they might also, to be honest, and again, I don't want to say that this person is a gold digger on some level, but they will feel drawn to, I feel, also this aspect of yours, that you have your finances in order. You seem to have your finances in order, and you're stable and serious. And I feel to some extent you are also successful, materially. This person could be younger than you. Well, that is another interpretation. They could either be younger than you, which explains why they see you as a mature individual. Also, you have the Queen here. Let me see. So you don't have any knights here. Wait, you do have the Page of Cups. This is kind of a youthful energy as well. But, of course, these cards do not necessarily speak of literal ages. It could just be that this person can actually be older than you, but they will still see you as this very wise, mature individual, someone who has a lot of life experience. So if you are younger than they are, they might see you as wise beyond your years. very reliable, very serious. But they also see you as a person. Look at this. You have the Nine of Swords, the Three of Swords, the Four of Swords. They also, like, similarly to the other piles, but in a different way. You come across as a person who also is quite stressed, I have to admit. And this would make sense in the grand scheme of all of these together, you know, all of these cards together, in the sense that they see you as a person who most likely has an established position professionally, or you're very concerned with your professional life. Maybe you have a business, maybe you're juggling multiple activities, you know, maybe you have more than one job, or you have a job and a side hustle. So they see you as a person who's very stressed out. And I think that the reason you're stressed out is mainly because of what you're trying to achieve professionally. They see you as kind of maybe a little bit of a workaholic. Maybe they could see you as a person who, to some extent, since this is falling under the Nine of Pentacles, I definitely get the feeling that for a lot of you, they sense that you are someone who's really aiming for financial independence, and that is the main thing that is keeping you up at night. Like, that is your main concern right now. This is how they see you. They also see you as a person who has, it's really interesting here because you have both very strong masculine and strong feminine energy. So like, it's more a little bit towards the masculine. So I feel they see you as someone who's capable of being rational and calm in situations of crises, and, you know, good at planning and organizing and taking care of yourself. But they also see you as the Queen of Cups, which shows that they see you as intuitive, very feminine, also having a very sensitive, even motherly kind of energy. Although I would say this is more about seeing your sensitivity, about seeing the fact that you have a strong intuition, a strong creative side. That's another thing. You also are, they see you as a natural psychologist. They see you as a person who's quite psychic. Because of the Queen of Cups, the Death card, and also the Polar Bear with Mystic. And look at this, independence as well. Independence with the Nine of Pentacles, right? So I definitely feel like this person thinks that you are quite well off financially, and that you also, you come across as pretty self-sufficient, especially since you have both the masculine and the feminine energies well represented here. I feel like you give off this energy of you're pretty much, yeah, self-sufficient. So like you're kind of like capable of being balanced within yourself, because you're equally embracing both your feminine and your masculine energies, and you're pretty good at embodying both and juggling both of those energies. With the Three of Swords, it's like you also, similarly to, I think it was the pile before, but I'm not really sure. There was another pile that also got the Three of Swords, but in combination to other cards. So I definitely feel like this person also sees you as someone who has gone through some heartbreak. They could, maybe they even know something about you. Of course, if this is a person that you know, have known for a long time, they might know that you have had a lot of pain in the past, a lot of romantic suffering, like failed relationships. So it could either be that, it could either be that they see you as someone who carries a lot of heartbreak, and or they also see you as a potential heartbreak. They could see you as a heartbreaker, you know? And I feel like, especially with these cards, like I think this person sees you as, irrespective of the age between the two of you, they see you as someone with a lot of life experience. So pretty worldly, you know? So I think they imagine that you've had a lot of relationships or a lot of experience in life, and automatically also in relationships. So I think they potentially see you as someone who has gone through heartbreak, but also someone who probably created a lot of heartbreak. They see you as a heartbreaker. And the Four of Swords shows that they see you as a little bit wary as well. well, which actually goes hand in hand with the rest of the cards, which is the fact that, you know, this person, I think, sees you as a, you know, very mature individual. So I think they see you as a little bit world weary, you know, they see you as a little bit tired, needing to rest. But they could also potentially see you as, again, hand in hand with the Emperor energy and the Queen of Cups. They could just see you as someone who's very internalized in their energy, like you keep to yourself to a large extent. You don't really let people in easily. And I feel like this person, again, could be assuming that the reason you are like this is because of past heartbreak. Also, the Death card, they see you as transformation. Like, this shows that either they see you as someone who has turned themselves around at least once in your lifetime completely. Again, depending on how much this person knows about you, they could see you as someone who has gone through some major transformation in life. Like, this could be physical transformation, like maybe you've lost a lot of weight at some point, or you've had plastic surgery, or maybe you've gone through some kind of huge surgery at some point in your life, or some kind of near-death experiences. That could literally be what the Death card shows. But another interpretation could be that this person sees you as transformative. Like, they see you as a chance for them to transform if they were to get in a relationship with you. And again, I don't want to get gold digger vibes here, but this could also be pertaining to your social status and your material nature, which is a material aspect, but which does not necessarily mean that this person doesn't see you in a very romantic light. I think they definitely see you as a very romantic light. They also see you as a romantic person, like, irrespective of everything else that they might think of you, which is valid. As I have mentioned before, they see you as stable, as successful, and all that. But they also see you as very romantic, someone who is a poet at heart. I think this person dreams of experiencing a lot of romance with you. They see you as someone who could write little poems and love letters. I'm getting Shakespeare here. I'm getting Shakespeare vibes. I'm getting, you know, maybe also because of the way this guy is dressed. Like, I'm getting Romeo and Juliet. But yeah, going back to the Death card, I think they could also potentially see you as a ticket for transformation, for them to turn their lives around. Maybe, like, they feel like, you know, getting a little bit cheesier here, they might see you as, you know, inspiring them to be a better person, because they admire you and they respect you and they want to be in your league, I feel. So yeah, they definitely see you as a chance for a new love. Definitely. I think this is probably the most romantic one up until this point, except for, I think also pile 1 had the lovers. I think, I'm not really sure. So if you were drawn to pile 1, you should check that one out as well. If you were drawn to pile 1, it's not compulsory. Also here, bison and abundance, right? Abundance. Fill my life with goodness, teach me the way of gratitude and prayer. You carry the shaman within. Yeah, it's really interesting how the oracle cards actually confirm the energy of the tarot cards here. That's how I see it. The only negative thing I see is this 9 of Swords. I feel like they see you as an anxious person, like I said. So, like, I most likely having to do with being a little bit of a workaholic, or being very involved in a lot of activities, especially professionally, financially, focused on making money and establishing yourself professionally. With the Judgment card, again, they could see you as a very discerning person. But on the other hand, what the Judgment card says, and I should have said this in the other piles as well, is that this could just be they see you as a fated connection. They see you as someone that they were meant to meet, you know? Taken to the maximum expression of this, they could even see you, especially for you, because you also have the 2 of Cups, they might even see you as the one. Like, they might see you as the person that they were meant to meet in this life, to have a romantic relationship with. They also see you, yeah, I think I mentioned it one way or another. They see you as someone who is also potentially good at meditating. Someone who is, yeah, capable of keeping a cool head under pressure. Oh, this is another interesting message I'm getting, that I think this person sees you as self-sufficient, and I think because you come across as self-sufficient, they see you as healthy enough to have a true romance with. Like, I feel like they can tell, I think for a lot of you, or maybe even most of you, that because you are more mature in outlook and experience, that you're not going to be clingy, that you're not going to project on them, that you're basically a person who is in touch with your true self. I feel like that's how they see you. They see you as someone who is pretty good at filling their own cup, if that makes sense. Like, you don't rely on other people to complete you. And if you do pursue a relationship, it's because you truly want to be with that person, not because you are seeking to meet your own needs from them, if that makes sense. So again, this could literally could refer to your financial status. So take it how it resonates. It could literally be about the fact that they see you as pretty well off. They think, oh, you're definitely not going to rely on them for finances, or you're not going to want them for their money or for what they can give you materially. But I feel like this also refers to emotions. Like, I think they see you as mature, reliable, not going to play games. You know, you're not going to cling to them like a needy child, I feel. Like, you just seem like someone who knows who they are, and they like that. They like the maturity that you give off. I feel like also, similarly to one of the previous piles, and I don't remember which one, don't shoot me. There was another pile, I'm pretty sure it was pile 3, but I'm not 100% sure, who also got the death card. And I think that similarly to what I said in that pile, you give off a little bit of Scorpionic vibes, but I feel like for you, it's actually stronger Saturnian vibes. So if you're into astrology, I definitely feel like you might be someone who has a strong Saturn energy. Maybe you have planets in Capricorn. Maybe you have Saturn in the first house, Saturn in the 10th house. Different variations. If you're into astrology, you know what I'm talking about. Saturn in the Aruda Lagna. But I won't get too much into detail. But I feel like for you, you're giving off a strong Capricorn Saturn energy with a little bit of Scorpio Pluto, a little bit of Mars as well. And also some earth energy. Yeah, well, Capricorn is earth energy, so yeah. Also, I feel a little bit of Pisces. A little bit. Quite romantic. With the mystic here. But yeah, pretty much this is what I can see for you, pile number 4. And I hope that you have enjoyed this reading, because I found it definitely very interesting. So I hope that it resonated. I hope it has proven to be useful to you. And of course, if you enjoyed the video, do not forget to like it and subscribe to my channel. And please hit the notifications bell to see when I will post a new tarot video. And of course, if you're interested in a personal tarot reading, you can email me at the email in the video description, and I will send you further details. Thank you.